So
Right.
I'm hoping I'm not going to cough up a storm. As soon as I say that, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Very good. It's been a while. We're going
You
to
know,
give it.
I just said that it has been a while, my friend.
It has been a while. We're going to just give it a couple, like a minute, get some peeps on. Um, I, I, I don't know about you. I love this time of year. I love my favorite time of year is literally Thanksgiving area or time for many different reasons.
You know what's funny is that obviously I love the holidays. I hate this time of year
Why?
because it's 38 and 45 and rain.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like outside
Yeah.
wise. So like, it's just like the blah time of the year.
Yeah, it's like is that like everywhere or is,
No, it's northeast. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I mean like any mountainous, or cold area or cold climate area or mountainous area always has those laws in between summer and winter. For lack of a better term, and I think that's what that is here.
exactly. We have a meeting at 9:30, so we're going to cut it off just before. You got a cool announcement today too, which we'll bring up here in a moment. Are we live on the platforms?
Uh, on Facebook we are.
Fantastic. And all right, well, welcome, brother. One of the announcements that I would like you to talk about is Brew House bikes. Matter of fact, I think that's really cool. Today we're going to talk about why you should be starting an online business, even if you have no idea what to do. Maybe you're
Right.
not even an entrepreneur yet. Maybe you're like, there's people that are like, I've always wanted to start a business, but for some reason they're just stuck. Like,
Right.
well, then why don't you do it?
Right.
Well, and they have lots of reasons why, right? Which are what?
What excuses?
They're excuses.
Right.
What was the NFT thing that just happened where the guy, he's a
Dude,
little scammer?
I don't know, man. I was catching a little bit of that this morning. It was like he had a hedge fund, but he also had a exchange for crypto.
Yes. And Tom
And
Brady invested in it. A lot of people invested in it.
dude, like I mean, like $16 billion worth of worth. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Guess how much it's worth now?
Dude, he filed bankruptcy.
It's zero, dude.
Right,
It's
right.
like,
Well, exactly. And then he, and I just caught a little bit of this morning. And then he tried to move. Like, there's a lot of money like unaccounted for
yes,
as well.
yes.
And they said he tried to move some into a hedge fund, which also his hedge fund also declared bankruptcy.
Isn't that
So,
something?
so you're right. So I don't, that's about all. That's about all I caught so far. But
Well,
it's crazy.
here's the thing with that. You got some people that are old school. A good buddy of mine, partner, obviously with Grub Guys, Norm. But Norm said, I'm not going to give the exact quote. You probably know it, but a lot of people in his generation says, if you can't have it in your hand and on it,
Right. If it's not
and
tangible,
yeah. So I want to talk about that because it's funny. We had a conversation yesterday. Somebody was talking about crypto and of course NFTs, and I just don't understand it. And I don't and here's my feeling on that. I think that it is subject to a lot of fraud. I think it's subject to being taken over. I don't know if you know this, but even in China and Russia, they're developing their own gold standard. So they're buying up all this gold. Did you hear about that?
yeah, yeah.
I don't want to go into that, but at the end of the day, we got to be very, very careful. So today we're going to talk about why it's so important to have an online
But
business.
but what's funny is to me is that people kind of understand and like to gamble on crypto, but they don't understand digital assets.
Right.
You know,
And that's that juxtaposition I want to talk about
right, exactly.
because digital is, it's here to stay, obviously. And some people, you know, don't talk about it the right way, but technology, let's just say that is here to stay. So at the end of the day, I do believe, I carry this guy. And, so I shouldn't probably say this, but on my phone, I have an emergency credit card. God forbid if something happens where this gets stolen or whatever, or vice versa, that I have a way to obviously pay for things.
That's not a bad idea.
But this is encrypted. It's so if somebody walks by and tries to get my credit card info, which there's apps for that,
Right.
they could do it, especially if it's in your back pocket. When we were up in Ellicottville, I watched a guy doing this. Now, mind you, I didn't say anything because, you know, it's hard to prove that that's what they're doing, but I could tell that that's what he's doing.
Right.
Meaning he's got his phone low
Right.
and he's bumping into people.
Which is
And if they're not protected, they're going to get their data. So you know, I've got credit cards in here and debit cards, right?
right.
First of all, I want to keep it thin. I carry no cash with me.
Well, you know it's funny. It is like I saw a thing yesterday where Peek and Peek is going cashless.
Oh wow. Okay.
But you have to, you know, I don't know. I have a, you know, I think that kind of is not a great thing
No.
because the way they're doing it is so you can go to one of their machines and get a Peek and Peek card and put cash in and put it on your card, or take your Visa card and put it in and get a Peek and Peek card. But like you know what I mean? Like
I get why they're doing it.
why are they doing it?
Employee theft.
Uh-huh.
See, when there's something that's called cash, I'm not going to point out but there is a business. I'm not going to say where, but I needed service done. I'm just going to say it was a car business service. And he says, well, are you going to pay cash or a card? And if I paid cash, I had a different price because nothing else was traceable, meaning they could perform the service for me.
Right.
And there would be, so what they were doing is in the pocket.
Right.
I'm a business owner and I like to think that you and I protect other business owners because I respect business owners, you know, and you know, so I said, no, we're going to use a card. But then it was that price. But listen, so there could be that. I don't know if that's a reason, but 99% of the time, this is why when you're in, even in the airport, there's areas that no cash. It's definitely card. They just, or if you go into parks, like even the Watermere, everything is card, no cash. And it's because of that. They want to curb the theft.
Well, you know, I mean, that's the first thing, you know, that actually makes some sense. But what happens if internet goes down or something goes down, and then all of a sudden you can't take anything anywhere?
Well, if they do it right, there's a backup way of doing that. Like you can have a internal internet that, now here's the problem. Is it going to communicate with servers and say, hey, that guy does have credit and he can buy it? The risk there is once you're back online. So there is a way to still let the transaction go through. But when the internet comes back, now it sends all of those orders through and you might get a decline. It's like crap, like he's gone, you know?
Right.
So there is a little bit of a risk there.
No, you know, the one thing about the Peek and Peek thing I thought was, you know, because like they do a lot of the school ski clubs there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So like, you know, the parents give the kids $30 for the night.
Yes.
To get, you know what I mean? To get dinner and some drinks.
Yeah,
and
but
that
you know
kind
what's cool about that? You can give a child, like, let's just call it a debit card, right? Or a PayPal card that can be used anywhere. Venmo, PayPal. All you have to do is literally transfer family to family. No cost. Zero cost for that.
Okay.
And now your kid's got that money. The cool thing is if your child was to lose money, how much did they lose percentage wise?
Right. Well, that's true.
100%.
Right.
But if they said, Mom, Dad, like I lost my card, I don't know where it is. They cancel the card and you lost nothing. Right. Now if they have a backup card, you know, whatever you can, did I just lose my monitor?
Uh-huh.
Look at that. I've been on for quite some time this morning. Hang on. So yeah. So the funny thing is credit cards are, but let's get into this. So yeah, digital currency is here. Like everyone's like, I don't understand the crypto and digital currency. I'm like, do you have a debit card? Yes. Okay. When when somebody pays you, it's kind of like when we make money with Grub Guys. Excuse me. When we make money with Grub Guys, right? Somebody orders online. That goes into what's called Stripe.
Right.
Then Stripe, first of all, you can push it immediately. And we'll talk about this on another one, is how to get paid fast. But you can push it immediately into your bank account. It might cost you a few dollars to do that. But if you want it immediate, you could do it. Otherwise, if you don't do that, every 2 days, whatever's in Stripe will eventually get moved into your bank account. Now, here's where it gets funny. Okay, I get that. So when you own a business, or if somebody was to pay you and it goes into your account and now you're using it, do you think for a moment that the bank actually received money? They didn't.
No.
They didn't. And if you really think about it, it's kind of makes you a little nervous because of the fact that no actual currency is being exchanged. I mean, in some areas it is, but this is why there was a gentleman, I forget his name, but he went into the bank and he wanted to pull out all of his money. And they said, sir, you can't. What we'll do is within 30 days, I forget what it was, but it was pretty bad. He goes, what do you mean you can't? It's my money. I put it in this bank. I want it back because we don't have it here. Then where is it? It makes no sense, right? Like, where is it then? So you have to understand that if you can understand a debit card or credit card, more so a debit card, then you can understand digital currency, because your card says you have this amount of money on it. That's supposedly in the bank, which physically it's not there. I don't care what anyone says, it's not there.
No.
And then of course the feds print money, but we're not going to talk about that. But at the end of the day, if we went to a digital currency, it would most likely help with inflation and all sorts of stuff. So I'm a fan of it. I'm not a huge fan of NFTs yet. I think there's a lot of things that need to be changed because I'm just not a fan of it. As case in point, look at what happened here. The people that lost money, they lost that money. It's gone.
Right.
It's gone. So what I love, so let's talk about digital that is physical, meaning, so if you have something that's digital, like a painting, is it really worth value? That's up to the person that's purchasing it.
That's right.
So that person that said, if it's not in my hand, it's not real type of deal, right?
Right.
If I can't physically touch it, see it. But what if you created a course and you're teaching your knowledge online? Is that physical?
No.
It is, though. Here's why. Because if you learn something, didn't you get something of value?
Well, for sure. But it's not.
If you're seeing it, meaning I'm watching this course online,
right?
I can see it. I'm learning it. So therefore it has value. And that's where value comes into. If I go on Amazon and I physically see something that I want to buy, I just bought a scale for Grub Guys. Okay. Because the scale I had to like be creative. I had to put the scale upside down, hang off the terminal part that shows you how much it weighs, put something on it, and then use a mirror to tell me what it weighs, right? Hey, I had to do it. So now we have a scale where it's got a cord and you can see it.
Right.
But so talking about internet business, an internet business is a digital business as long as you have internet. So you are right. If that ski lodge was to go down, is there going to be a problem? Yes, but could there still be a problem regardless? Because if their cash machine is not working or syncing with whatever, software they have, which a lot of times is online as well, they're still possibly going to have a problem unless they're totally manual.
Oh, no, 100%. But like, say everything goes down, you still complete transactions with cash.
Yes, which is true.
You know,
I do see an end of that.
unfortunately, I do. I'm definitely old school. I love cash. Cash is
I
king.
do. I
You
like
know what I
both.
mean? Right? Exactly. Anytime I can pay with cash, especially tip waiters and waitresses and that kind of stuff, I love doing that.
Right.
But that's me.
Yeah. And I get it. I totally get it. So 2023 is coming up. I'll tell you, if by the way, this is recorded, we're going to leave this up on a few of our digital assets of our own. And I want to, first of all, I want to talk about the why you should start an online business. Number one is it increases your revenue. So instead of getting a second job, why not just create something online? And there's so many things that you can do. Even my wife, she's doing some stuff, and I said, baby, you got to do a brain dump. What is it that you know? What excites you? What do you like? What do you like doing? Make a brain dump.
Right.
You got to get it on paper. You have to get it on paper. And the reason why you want to do that is, number one, when you're cluttered up in the mind, you're going to be paralyzed. You're not going to do anything. How many people said, yeah, I'm going to start this and I'm going to do that. And a year later you're on, hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm going to start this and I'm going to do that. It's the same. And we're all guilty of it. I've done it. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Some things take longer than others though.
Yeah.
SaaS is a lot harder, which is software as a service, but I want to even talk about that. So I'm going to give the 5 things. If I was a newbie, what I would do. And then on the side of what I would do. So if I wanted to increase revenue, and by the way, from a few thousand a month, I think it would be easy to make $3,000 a month. Like that would be on an easy side, easy. And I mean profit. From there though, 6 figures and on up, we will next week we're going to start spotlighting companies and start spotlighting ideas that became something and had an exit with it. I think our audience, including ourselves, can get a lot out of that because these are the real people doing real things, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
And before you know it, what happens is you're going to find that your endorphins are going to get going and you're going to get ideas. And that's really where it starts. So the very first thing I would do is do a brain dump. Like I told my wife, what are the things that you love? I know she loves the fitness she loves fitness, but she loves nutrition and she's obsessed with it. So am I. But unfortunately that went lower on the scale for me because there were some things that I just liked even better. And then you want to organize those thoughts.
Right.
Do a brain dump. What are my gifts? What am I good at? And how do you do that? So if I was to ask you, D, when somebody comes to you in a room, let's say you're at an event, do people try to pick your brain? And if so, what do they ask you? What seems to keep showing up?
I mean, well, yeah, no, I mean, I definitely get, asked a lot of questions. Why did why did you switch to business? It's definitely,
That's a big one.
right.
Business model. Yeah,
exactly. As I'm sure everyone knows by now, we started out as power sports and moved over to bikes, so.
Which was a brilliant idea.
Yeah. But I definitely get asked that a lot.
Okay.
Brick and mortar questions I get asked a lot.
Yes.
For sure.
Awesome. So. And by the way, if you're even if you have a brick and mortar company, still go online. Like everyone knows that, right? So here's what I want to say though. You got Amazon. So so watch this. Amazon went from almost killing all the bookstores because they didn't get it. Even when Bezos was talking about what he was going to do and it was out of his garage. And by the way, folks, you can do it out of your kitchen table. Like right. Today you can you can do it from anywhere as long as you have an internet connection. Right.
Right.
So when he says, hey, I'm going to sell books, a lot of people are like, what? I remember Katie Couric told them it's not going to work on actual TV. This is why some of those people shouldn't really be into politics, because they just don't see, and a lot of people are watching. Do you have vision? Can you see things that other people can't? Like forecasting.
Right.
Things for the heart. Hey, by the way, anyone that's on, if you have questions for us, feel free to ask us. Or do you have an idea and you feel a little stuck? Feel free to ask us. We're talking about online business and why in 2023, you need to really think of doing this. Including like somebody that's lost a spouse, like now what, stuff like that. I believe that when you're going through grief or going through anything in your life, a divorce, the busier you can be. Do you agree with this?
Dude, 100%. I'll just get ready. Yeah, 100%.
I would have to busy myself.
Well, wait, exactly. I mean, the worst thing you do is sit on the couch and stew about it.
Yes, or drink or do anything like that.
Exactly, exactly. No, the more productive I am and the busier I keep myself, the better I get through stuff.
Without a doubt. And so here's the things I would do. I'm going to give you 5. 5 of the best business ideas for 2023 right now, hands down. First, before I even say these 5, be careful of the shiny object syndrome. Like, I hate to say it, but the NFTs, crypto, mining. I see people that are mining and then they get their electric bill. Hey, if you really know what you're doing, great. But just know it comes with a lot of risk. Be careful of the shiny object. Start looking for things that have real value, and you'll understand when you see it. So, number 1, I like SaaS, which is software as a service. Even if you don't know how to code, you can obviously get somebody that does, and there's a right and wrong way of going about this. If you need help, we can help you with it. But at the end of the day, that's what we do. That is software as a service. So what do I mean by that? If you have a great idea, for one, in our wheelhouse, we had DineHop. In our wheelhouse, we have TextMeow. In our wheelhouse, we have Campaign Cannon. All these things that help people solve a problem or add value to what it is that they do. So like text marketing, for instance, if you own a business, obviously that's going to help you with getting more business. Right. So stuff like that. Or maybe you're really good at designing earrings. My daughter does this. How about an online store? There's ways to do that. There's better ways than others, but
and I'd add also enhance an experience.
Yes. Yes. Enhance experience. Number 2, consulting. Maybe you have knowledge that you can help and you could bring that online. You could do one-on-one or one-on-many. Here's the funny thing. If you have a payment wall, meaning you run an ad or whatever, I'm going to teach this, or I'm going to help people with this problem. Maybe it's marriage counseling of some sort, right? And here's how you will level that up. So let's just use that for a moment. Let's just say you're really good. I got to tell you real quick. There was 2 people that they both were like married like 4 times each. And ironically, they got married to each other, right? So maybe that was number 5. Maybe that was number 4. I can't remember. Google it. You'll find the actual answer to these. But here was the deal. Ready? Watch this. It blew my mind. They both get married. They both divorce one another. But get this. Ready? This is funny. They both sold and both were number 1, number 2. I think he exceeded her eventually. Number 1, number 2 in marriage advice. Like what?
What?
Like what do you mean? Like you guys are failed at marriage so many times, but somehow, some way they were good at their message, and maybe they learned what they were doing wrong. I don't know. But his book, I forget what her program was, but his book was, and you'll probably remember the title, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, or vice versa. You know, sometimes I have dyslexia.
Right.
Do you remember that title?
I do remember that title.
Number 1 book, number 1 selling book at its time. And then they went on to programs besides the book.
I think everybody's wife read that book.
Oh, yeah.
Right. At least that I know. But,
Yeah.
I think I got to get that book thrown in my face like 200 times.
Oh, how funny.
Right.
Well, I get it. So think of his title, though. The title was great.
Right. No, dude, it was definitely a great title.
Yeah.
Saying, men and women are completely different.
Yes. And titles are everything.
Right.
I think.
I mean, catchphrases catch. It catches your attention, and that title was perfect for that book.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, they were both competing at the same time, and they were both like number one, number two. So, consulting. So, if let's say you're going to give marriage advice, and maybe you screwed up, maybe you've got some arrows in the back, and and you and your wife reconciled and you fixed your marriage. Do you think somebody that's got a perfect marriage, nobody does, by the way, but let's say somebody has the perfect marriage, would you rather learn from them or the ones that seemingly now have a perfect marriage, but they've had some flaws throughout, but they knew how to fix it and they came back together, fell back in love, whatever, and now their marriage is great, but they got through the problems?
I mean, anybody's able to overcome obstacles, you always think they're a stronger person because of it.
Yes. Even if somebody, was great at business, failed at business, back to being great, failed again, back to great. You might want to learn from that person, because whereas there are some people, not to bastardize this, but there's some people that teach business in school, they failed at doing business and then they never created a business after that. I don't know if I'd want to learn from that person.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because at that point, they're just teaching curriculum.
Well, exactly. No, it doesn't make sense.
Okay. Consulting. Number 3 is teaching. It being similar to consulting, but teaching is, I've got a skill. I'm going to teach how to do it.
Right.
Maybe you're really good at photography. Maybe you're really good at videography. By the way, if you're good at video, possibly $1 million brand. I mean, $1 million coaching program. Like if you are really good at video and then you taught and you teach it right and you title it right and you price it right, there's that many people that are out there that need that product. Absolutely. And it's evergreen.
Well, that's the whole thing. And more and more things are going video. You know what I mean? To highlight products, short clips, that kind of stuff, which makes editing even more important.
Yeah, matter of fact, we're doing that now, and oh my gosh, there's just so much to know. So that is a big one. If you're really good at TikTok or the shorts, reels, shorts, and stories, that would be a good one to teach if you're good at it.
That's right.
Number 4, you and I are in all of these, by the way. So I'm going to give it. So we have SaaS, consulting, and I'll put it up on the screen here in a moment. SaaS is number 1, I believe is number 1. Obviously, next week we'll talk about and break down each industry. Number 2, consulting, if you're very good. So how would you go about doing that and make money? Can you message him to say we're going to be about 10 minutes?
Yep.
Consulting is where if I was somebody that is really good, maybe you're a financial advisor and you want to teach the masses and you're really good at something specific, you could do this. So what I would do is have a free line explaining what it is that you could do, then have a paywall, which if you don't know how to do that, it's easy. I'll explain it later, but you have a paywall, they pay, and then you have a specific day where you're going to teach that thing. And you teach it on, in my opinion, would be Zoom, and have a whole audience. Teach one-on-many instead of one-on-one. You can do one-on-one, but you need to up your price if you're going to do that. So that would be for consulting. Number 3, teaching. You create a course, you do it once, you put it online, and that will make money perpetuity, first of all. It's every day, every month.
Right.
And as long as it's evergreen. And here's what's cool about courses. If there's a change in the market, if there's a change, a new idea, a new way of doing it, kind of like a book. If there's a new way of doing it, you have to rewrite the book, right? Or add to it and then sell that book again. Where a course, You just make that change, possibly in real time, and it's up within minutes, hours, or maybe a day. So I love courses. So number 4 would be product. We're both in that as well.
Right.
Physical.
Yep.
I love product, but if you could do drop ship, that's even better. We're not going to go totally into that. We will eventually, but drop ship means you tell the masses you have access to this product. They say, yeah, I like that product. They go to buy it. But instead of you packaging and shipping it, there's another company that does that for you. It's called drop ship.
Right.
And by the way, you can do this where it comes in through you and automatically goes to that company and they fulfill it. So that's drop shipping.
Right.
Let me tell you real quick, one negative of product base. If you have a brick and mortar, it could mean that it's very mechanical and it's like a JOB.
Well, well, yeah, and let me give you 2 more on that. Cost of inventory.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Being able to move all that, then you also got to have the warehouse space.
Absolutely. And by the way, all of these ideas, you can do all. I would never recommend to start, obviously. Do one thing. The one that's the lowest cost to barrier would be teaching online, a course. Those by far are the least cost to get going.
Right.
So if you have knowledge, I would highly recommend you sell your knowledge. Okay.
Right.
And then number 5, services. So if, let's say, I don't know, if you're an attorney, there are ways that you can bring that online. For instance, let's say you're an attorney and you're really good at getting patents or really good at copyright. Well, guess what? You can offer that online. They pay online and you would help them with those. You can do that.
Right.
Services are big. Another one would be like delivery. Like we all know about Uber. We all know about that. That's actually SaaS service. But those are the things that I would be looking at doing. Now, real quick, and we're going to end this. For those that are interested for 2023, we're going to help you. So it's free to join. It's this 52creator.com/join, or just go to 52creator.com. It'll take you there. 2023, build product. We're going to help you. Like, what do you do first? I would highly recommend a course. Right. If you got knowledge. If you don't, obviously we got to do something else.
Well, exactly. And we definitely have programs to help do that, and platforms to help do that as well.
Yes, we do. Matter of fact, we have something really cool we're going to show next week as well. By the way, we have a challenge that we want everybody to join. You can sign up here. Next week, we're going to have training. We're going to help you get that product. But how about making 2023 your best year ever? More importantly, being free. Like, you can take whatever vacation. When you don't have a JOB, you can go, you set your own hours. You work from home if you want.
Grab and own your own destiny.
Absolutely. Own your Monday.
Own your Monday.
So we're going to help you with that as well. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to go live again. Yep. And this weekend on Sunday, we have something really cool that we want to show and spotlight some industries that this is what you want to tap into, especially if you want to go and start that online business. Everyone can do it. Okay. It starts with the domain name, right? Once you own that domain name, man, that's where that's the spark.
Right.
And then from there, we're going to help you. We're going to help you how to do it. As far as us, we own Things Together. Grub Guys is one. We're national now. Like, come on. That's exciting.
No doubt about that.
It started with an idea and we had problems. Did we have problems?
Yep. Yeah.
You're always going to.
Dude, we always do. And I mean, how you work through them makes you who you are,
Exactly. And it levels you up. It makes you that's what gives you the authority, by the way. We have the arrows in the back. We just talked about that. People that have been there before and got through adverse situations. And we've gone through quite a few. from Geeklink to a few other things.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you got to stay in motion and keep going, keep learning and applying. That's the big one.
Exactly.
You can't sit on the sideline. Look at now. I know they've had problems lately, but look at Josh Allen. You know, when he started, he had to learn and learn and learn. And at some point, though, you got to be in the game, and you got to be able to think and instantly make these. Hey, not always does it work out, and we saw that this Sunday.
Exactly. Hey, we got a couple comments from Susie Delio. I don't know if you saw those.
No, I did not see those.
Yep. So basically, like, that's some nice comments, but the last one is she's like, I need to have a domain. I mean, she's trying to do her own. I'm currently working on a platform for teaching and educating mental and physical self-defense online and in person.
That is fantastic.
Right. I mean, she's like I love her. She's a go-getter.
Fantastic. By the way, that is a ever-growing industry.
Right? But like HostFox could.
Oh yeah. So Susan, matter of fact, I'll throw it up here, or you could put it in the comments. By the way, everyone, we keep it cheap. Listen, the whole idea is we want to get you past start, but if you go to HostFox.com, that's what I would recommend for hosting. I'm going to give you a quick why for that. Whoops, let me go back to comments. If you need a domain and you need hosting, just go there. So we're going to help you. Now, mind you, you don't have to, there's other hosting companies. Right. It's just, we created this because there was a lot of issues with some hosting companies that we didn't like.
Right.
For one, certain things that were on a server, like gambling and porn, we don't want that on our servers. If that means anything to you, I could give you the huge nerdy reason why you don't want that. One is bandwidth and, having your website load slow because there's something on there taking all the bandwidth. That is why. But at the end of the day, too, we never, there are some companies out there, when your domain name, you forget to renew it, they buy it and then they try to sell it back to you for thousands. I just think that is horrible and we would never do that. But Susan, we created that as well. All of our creators, you can go there. We could host you. You could buy your domain name. If you need help with domain name, free, give us a call. We'll give you ideas how to flesh that out. So feel free to message us and we'll jump on a quick call with you. But by the way, Susan, here, let me bring it over. My son is actually a police officer. He a sheriff deputy, and they're teaching tactical stuff, and that's a big thing. So this is a great thing to do. You might even be able to team up with certain organizations. So great idea. We would love to actually help you with that, by the way. And then what was this one here? Oh, love it. Own your money. Yes. The reason why we came up with that slogan is the fact that there was so many people that I would hear throughout life. I'm like, isn't it weird how like Monday, but by the way, number one heart attack days are Sunday and Monday. And it's because of the stress that people are Krav Maga. No way. Oh my gosh. I got to talk to her. So
she's awesome. Yeah, you definitely like her for sure.
Yeah, I took Hapkido, very similar to Krav Maga, but I've always wished there was somebody teaching Krav Maga here locally. Is she local?
Like Meadville area.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Krav Maga is, I think, amazing. So, man, that would be huge. Anyways, Susan, love to help you. But yeah, going back to Mondays, a lot of people stress over it. Oh gosh, tomorrow's Monday, or Mondays. And thank God it's Friday. What if you loved every day and you loved what you do so much that when you go to bed at night, you're so tired because you're working what you love and you can't wait to get up in the morning to get back at it? That's what we're talking about. We're going to try to create that type of energy into your business, because if you don't love what you do, somebody told me the other day, like, Oh, I don't believe in that working your passion. Are you kidding me? Why would you want to work on something you don't like? Like,
Exactly.
why would you want to?
I know. I hear that too. I'm like, right. So you just want to, I want to say like, wait, waste your life. I don't even know how to, you know what I mean? Like, I know that's not the right, you know, but like, if I didn't do something I didn't like, man, I mean, like, every day would be
It'd be miserable. That's why people don't like Mondays. They're miserable, right? Like, I think the best thing that somebody could do for an employee that's unhappy is let them go.
Right.
Seriously, like, because at that point they got to figure it out. Figure it out now, but live into or work into your passion, because that'll fuel you throughout life. There are so many people, from Warren Buffett to you name it, that they're working into their 80s because they love what they do. When you love what you do, you never think about retirement. Or if you are going to retire, like for instance, eventually we're going to exit on some of our platforms, but does that mean that I'm going to sit on my front porch the rest of my life? No.
Heck no.
I'm going to go into other passions of mine, right?
Right.
And this is why we're so passionate about online businesses, because it will allow you over in time to afford the other things that you want to do. Okay. Right. It's kind of like Elon Musk. He started out with PayPal. Did he invent PayPal? No, he took it over.
Right. That's right.
Did he invent Twitter? No, he took it over. Did he invent the Tesla? No, he took it over. A lot of people think he's the one that created Tesla. No, he bought it from two brothers. Yeah. He bought it.
Okay.
And then he made Tesla what it is today.
Yeah, right.
But at the end of the day, you could buy a business. We'll talk about that on other episodes, but you can buy an existing business. There's all sorts of things that you can do once you have the money, but it's an evolution process in this. But Susan, yeah, if you're still on, or Suzanne, I keep calling her.
Yeah.
The answer is yes, you can definitely teach that. I think there's a huge market for it, and you just got to see through it, meaning you got to actually start doing it. Okay. All right. We're going to end this. Let me just once again bring this up. Listen, folks, you just join. We're going to help you. 2023, 52 creator. Why 52? Listen, you got to be committed. You got to be committed. There's 52 weeks in a year. Be committed. Does it mean it's going to take you 52 weeks before you see any success? No, you're going to see success right away. Small wins first, followed by the larger wins. We're going to help you with that, especially depending on your product, depending on what it is that you're doing. If you want a free consultation, even reach out to us. We'll listen. If you need us to sign an NDA, we'll do it. We're never going to steal ideas, folks. We have too many of our own.
Right.
There's some,
and not including the artist staying when it happens to us about that. So we would never do it to somebody else.
Yeah, we would never, because yes, right. It's happened to us before. So listen, everyone have a great day. We're going to have a fun next week. Matter of fact, we don't know how long we're going to be live on Wednesday of next week, but it's going to be almost all day. So with intermissions, okay, we have a lot of cool announcements to make. You can jumpstart your year for 2023. You don't want to wait. You're going to start doing stuff now to get going on this 52 creator challenge. And for those that have levels of success, we have some really cool things for you that is going to help you get known as well. So we have a lot to go over. So we'll see everybody tomorrow. And once again, throughout the week, also Biz Morning is we are committed. We haven't been on for 6 weeks, and there's a reason for that. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But boy, are we committed, and we are going to help as many people as we can be successful online. Alrighty, D, thank you, brother. We'll see everybody.
Yep. Nice
see everybody tomorrow.
Okay.